Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I am so excited to share with you the ways to naturally increase your GLP-1 levels through food and lifestyle practices. But before we delve into that, I wanted to go into more depth in how GLP-1 drugs actually work in your body to help you lose weight and manage your type 2 diabetes. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Nisha. I'm an internal medicine resident passionate about preventative care and lifestyle medicine. So let's dive right in. So how do GLP-1 receptor agonists like Ozempic and Mounjaro actually work? These medications mimic a natural gut hormone called glucagon-like peptide 1, and they help with both blood sugar control and weight loss through several mechanisms. The first mechanism is that they enhance insulin release and suppress glucagon, but only when blood sugar is elevated. That means that they help your body regulate glucose more efficiently without causing dangerous lows. And for those who don't know, glucagon is another hormone that acts in converse to insulin. So this hormone is released when there are low levels of blood sugar in your body, and it causes your body to release more glucose into your bloodstream, increasing your blood glucose levels. The second is that it slows down how quickly your stomach empties. In other words, delays gastric emptying. This means that sugar is absorbed more slowly, preventing blood sugar spikes after meals. The third mechanism is that it reduces appetite dramatically. GLP-1 drugs act directly on the brain's hunger center to promote satiety and reduce food cravings. This leads to reduced caloric intake and consistent, sustainable weight loss. And a bonus mechanism is that it may also reduce LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and even inflammation in fat tissue. And before you get excited, this is all done by the grace of weight loss, not because GLP-1 agonists have some special sauce in it. But this does mean that it doesn't just help with weight and sugar, it can support overall metabolic health. So in summary, GLP-1 agonists work by boosting insulin, reducing glucagon, slowing digestion, suppressing appetite, and supporting heart and metabolic health. Now, before we get too excited about the weight loss results seen in GLP-1 agonists, let's talk about side effects because they're real and they are common. The most frequent side effects of GLP-1 receptor agonists like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro are gastrointestinal in etiology. We're talking nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, and in rare cases, you can get gallstones and pancreatitis. These symptoms are reported by a large number of users. In fact, studies show that 47 to 84% of patients on GLP-1 medications will experience some form of GI distress, compared to 13% to 63% in placebo groups. And me personally, in my clinic, I've experienced that most of my patients who are started on Wegovy or Ozempic will report nausea vomiting as the most common side effect. There are also some less common issues such as dyspepsia or indigestion and abdominal pain. But the good news here is that for most people, these symptoms tend to be mild to moderate in severity, and they often improve with time. Serious adverse events like severe GI complications or pancreatitis are very rare, but they occur in up to 10% of cases. But the real challenge here is treatment discontinuation. Some patients will stop taking medication altogether because of these symptoms, comprising up to 26% in some trials. So while GLP-1 medications are highly effective, they're not side effect free. So most people will tolerate them well with gradual dose increases, but it's important to have realistic expectations going into this medication and to work closely with a healthcare provider in titrating the doses. And this brings us to our next and most exciting section of the video. If you have ever wondered whether there's a natural way to support your GLP-1 levels, and the answer there is yes. Certain foods and nutrients can actually stimulate your body's own GLP-1 production, which can help you feel fuller for longer, support blood sugar control, and potentially aid in weight management. So let's break down the top contenders. And the first one is protein. So protein has been shown to significantly increase GLP-1 secretion and even block the enzyme that breaks it down, which is called DPP4, and it helps to prolong its effects. And to break this down even further, the amino acid glutamate was especially shown to increase GLP-1 levels. And this is done by increasing cellular messengers like calcium and cyclic AMP. But don't mistake this as a reason to go chasing glutamate-rich foods, because I always support a holistic approach to eating rather than a reductionist approach. And also, I feel like that would just lead to madness, so don't do that. Just increase your overall protein intake. The next one is healthy fats. Monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, like those found in avocado, olive oil, and almonds, have also been shown to increase your GLP-1 levels naturally. And the next one is, surprise, surprise, fiber. I feel like fiber deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame of food groups because it literally will do everything. It will reduce chronic inflammation, it will promote weight loss, it will reduce heart disease risk, all the things, and the winner goes to fiber. So fiber ferments in your gut and it produces short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. And these are known to stimulate GLP-1 secretion. If you're trying to increase your fiber intake without thinking too much about it, try out a whole food plant-based diet. The key takeaway here is to focus on whole grains, chia seeds, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. The next group of foods are plant-based phytochemicals, and these comprise of a large amount of plant-based nutrients. These are things like lignans, which are heart-healthy compounds found predominantly in seeds like flax seeds. So the phytochemical we're focusing on here is something called surcatins. These are found predominantly in apples and onions and a variety of other plant-based foods. These are shown to enhance GLP-1 release in the gut in limited studies. And finally, you have your herbs. These are things like berberine, curcumin, and resveratrol. These have shown promise in boosting GLP-1 levels, though more human studies are needed. And again, I mentioned this in earlier videos, but don't go chasing supplements with these herbal components. I always encourage my patients to eat herbs in their natural form. In summary, for the foods that will naturally increase your GLP-1 levels, focus on proteins, healthy fats, fibers, surcatin-rich produce, and finally, herbs. And if you thought food wasn't enough, there are also lifestyle practices you can do every day to improve your GLP-1 secretion. The first one is exercise. This will naturally increase your GLP-1 sensitivity and secretion. The second one is sleep. Sleep deprivation will reduce your GLP-1 levels and increase ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone. And the final one is mindful eating. And this can help regulate your appetite hormones and reduce emotional eating. And this technique can work synergistically with GLP-1 mechanisms. And me personally, I have experienced the effect of the first two when I was working my night shift and not sleeping well and not exercising at all. And therefore, I was ravenous and eating all the junk food in sight. So the bottom line here is that you don't always need a prescription to start supporting your GLP-1 pathway. Start with whole, high-fiber, protein-rich meals, and you're already going to be on the right track. So let's be real. GLP-1 drugs are incredibly effective for many people, especially those with type 2 diabetes or obesity. If you do meet qualifications for this drug, I will never, ever tell a patient that they should not try this drug. That being said, there are individuals who do not tolerate this medication, or they prefer to live a medication-free lifestyle. And that's why I created this video, to provide that education. But ultimately, nothing will compare to the efficacy of these medications. Natural methods like this may not give you the dramatic weight loss you see with the GLP-1 drugs, but they offer metabolic support, blood sugar regulation, and long-term sustainability. And they're tools we can all access at any time in our lives. No prescription needed. If you guys enjoyed that video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to hear about next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a happy, healthy rest of your day. Bye!